so you guys go ahead and introduce who you are.
Hi, I'm Corey Davis. I'm an artist.
I'm Miya Bailey, and I'm an artist.
What's the meaning behind the title Windows to Nowhere?
I'm gonna be real with you. I had this list of titles of stuff. Corey liked that one the best.
They were all like awesome like words, and I just like the way it sounded.
I came up with it just walking on the railroad track. I was walking on the railroad track and I was just writing. Cause like, yeah, thinking some names, titles of the show, and I was just thinking of a whole bunch of different stuff. And he liked that one. But I mean, I guess it'd be the window to nowhere could be, symbolism of the mind. It's really no place. You can see the brain, but you can't see the mind. It's really nowhere. There's no time and no space.
Yeah, like to me, like the canvases are kind of windows. They look like windows on the wall, and those are windows into our imagination, which really isn't a physical place. So that's what I got from the title, at least.
Yeah, nowhere.
That's pretty dope. So tell us about your creative process.
I don't know. To me, it's kind of natural. It's something that I do every day. Like, I don't feel right. I'm not even happy if I'm not being creative or being productive in some form. So, my paintings are very like meticulous and technical. I want it to be real flat and perfect and like almost look like it was printed from like a computer or made by a machine. I try to like take my hand and away from the art, and so yeah, it's very clean. I had to keep my studio pretty clean so I don't splash paint around. Like, it's very precise.
So with this series, paintings, I did it with kind of try to do it as less sound as possible and less people as possible around me. Usually I paint and it's just like hanging out and shit, So this time I was trying not to be inspired by music or anything, but it was just really just randomness, like sounds of outside, sounds of outdoors. Because when it's like nobody out here in the middle of the night, like in the AM, you can hear almost to Texaco. You can hear the railroad tracks. You can hear people fussing in the distance. So just like, just the sounds of the world, sounds of the street.
Damn, that's crazy. I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I'll have some music playing. I'll be watching some movies on Netflix. I'll have my laptop up and there'll be some imagery or something on there to inspire me. I might even cut some porn on or something. Like, I'll be real ADD with, I need stuff all around.
That's how I usually create. But like the paintings, I want to be kind of almost like a series, because they wasn't done around the same time. It was like a year process, like a year almost of work. So what the bonus was it was quiet and it was more relaxed. It was like no sound. Just my neighbor's sound. So I was like, oh shit, that was pretty dope. Because that was my first time ever doing it. Because I usually paint, I got a lot of magazines, a lot of source material around me. So just like I used to, same way, you know. So this one was like more of a see if I can get inspired not by music, because music always seemed like to just kind of hunt its way into it. Listen to Prince or Outkast, purple colors pop up. You know what I'm saying? Like you listen to like Miles Davis and your blues and your browns, kind of. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to kind of see what I could create without outside influence.
So, what was it like transforming the space of the gallery into your actual show?
It was pretty fun. Like normally when we have shows, we just hang stuff up where we think it looks good, but the gallery owner Sharon, she's very particular, and like we had to hang everything at 60 inches off the ground,
which I never understood. I couldn't grasp the measurements, so I can't front and say that.
Once I see you do this one more time,
I won't get it. I can't even reach that shit. I'm a little slow. You know, they put me in those dyslexic classes.
Okay.
So then, once you know where 60 is, you're measuring the whole side of the painting. So that is, okay, so 70 and a half.
When she was measuring this and subtracting, I couldn't get it.
It was real mathematical.
Corey, he was really good with that, man. I'm good with nailing some stuff in the wall, though.
Yeah.
And then, you know, a lot of people probably expect us to use or hire people to do it. Me and Corey actually did everything ourselves. So it was like, cause, you know, of course we're going to own our own gallery one day. That's the whole goal of anything. Yeah. So the whole goal is to learn as much experience as possible. Now we know how to hang stuff in the gallery. Light. Yeah, man, stand up on the thing and doing the lights. You know, it was the whole entire thing, a process. I never knew anything about gallery lights. But I didn't want to learn secondhand. I wanted to learn from her telling me how to do it. And it was just a humbling experience because I haven't had nobody tell me what to do in a long time.
You was real bossy.
Yeah, but it was dope because it was humbling and it made me learn. You know, you gotta humble yourself to shut up sometimes just to be in a position to learn. You know.
Yeah. At first, I thought it was going to be too crowded, but the way I don't think it is.
It looks good. I like it that way. It just looks so.
Yeah, so vibrant, so passionate.
My beauty series is just about like idealistic beauty, like the stuff you would see in like a high fashion magazine or from like a Disney princess type of thing. And it's not about race or any of that type of stuff. That's why their skin is like different colors, greens, blues, pinks, unnatural skin colors. Because I didn't want it to be about race or anything. I wanted it to be real neutral. And the girls, I wanted them to be real flat and lifeless, kind of like the models you would see in the high fashion magazine. Like, there's no expression to them really, they just real flat.
Very playful, it's like a whole different mood from over there.
Yeah,
you know?
This is like anybody that grew up in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Are gonna go.
Yeah.
They're gonna connect with these pieces out here.
So, in contrast to the beauty series, you also have fantasy adventures. What was the inspiration behind that?
That's more of like a childhood inspired series. It's inspired by pop culture. I grew up playing a lot of video games and watching cartoons, so that has like a big influence on my work. Really, it's like this boy going on these different quests and he's facing like these different monsters, and those monsters are just like symbolic of different stuff I was going through in my life. Like one, he's running away from the monster, and I wasn't facing problems that I needed to take care of as I should at the time, so that was kind of representing that. And then another one, he's trying to conquer it, like he's trying to conquer his fears and his problems and misfortunes. And then I was just thinking about it, like even the way I named them, all the monsters have like oral related names, and that kind of I think subconsciously that kind of relates to like Sigmund Freud and like with the oral phase.
Maya. So I'm a big fan of Mona's Secrets. Mm-hmm. What was the inspiration behind that piece?
It was inspired by me and Corey. We had went to, and the rest of the crew, we had went to Paris, and I got to see a lot of Da Vinci's work in person. And I was always a big fan of Da Vinci's work, not just because of like the I guess the realism of the work, because it was clearly he can do anything he wanted to do. He was a genius, man. But just the stories behind some of the stuff, like the hidden messages. So when I did Mona's Secret, it was more like I tried to mix as many different races of people all in one piece. I didn't want you to look like you kind of guessed her nationality, but I kind of gave you hints of certain things. Like I kind of did it in a Renaissance Ethiopian style, because I seen a similarity between the European Renaissance period and the Ethiopian Renaissance period in art is real similar in a lot of ways, and a lot of probably that they got inspired by some of those African artists. And I was like, man, I was dope. And just the secrets of the world. And if you look closely at Mona's Secret, her hands is almost in a form like she's maybe holding a child, which were the circles represent atoms. Because Da Vinci was always trying to find the secrets of life and secrets of everything. So it was like Mona's Secret. She knew the secrets of the human race.
So it seems as if emotional convictions are always displayed in your art. What was the significance of the piece you decided to dedicate to Chicago? Oh
man, you just I understand frustration when I was a young man's age, and I was that age that they dying at now, like 18 and young teenagers and young 20s, man, they dying. And I remember the frustration I used to have, and just didn't have the avenues to express frustration, because it's so when a black man displays frustration of anger, malice, of anything like that, it's so violent, it's so threatened. You know what I'm saying? But anybody else can do it. You can go to a little rock band, white kids can rage out. But if we raged out, we don't have the avenues to rage out. You know what I'm saying? Every human being has to rage out. You know what I'm saying? We all have to. And they showing their frustration by killing each other. You know, there's really no need to it. It's ego and it's pride, and there's nobody. When you're growing up and you feeling like I got to be a man, there's nobody really showing you how to be a man, and you just flooding the government, flooding guns into places where people less fortunate is. You close down hospitals. You just washing these young lives away. So I did the painting that dedicated. I wanted to show. It was hard. The painting was hard to me, actually harder than all of them, because I was trying to be simple in the piece, because I didn't want it to be pretty. You know, I'm used to my pieces as showing beauty. I didn't want it to be beautiful. So I was trying to, I did those bodies, and it took me a long time because I kept taking away because it was looking too perfect. I wanted to be as simple as possible. I wanted to be kind of not representing what I'm known for, but at the same time seeing me. So what I did was I looked at African statues, and I studied the African statues and the pieces, and I kind of took features from that to represent, because the bodies were flat. And I wanted to be like, it was almost like a statue, like I got in here, like a statue, stiff, and it just floating away. And they almost like when you got lumber, you tie them together, and they floating together. Because that's what it is. It's like a big clunk of black males, and if you look closely, it's rattled by bullets. You know, automatic gunfire bullets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just rattled through them. And I tried to get a pattern of how someone would just slaughter people, like a Holocaust slaughter. I just wanted to kind of capture those that ripple effect. And then I wanted to show a tombstone and an air floating, but the tombstone was originally going to be a Ethiopian saint. But then I thought about, like, well, a lot of people don't even know what the hell I'm talking about if I did an Ethiopian saint. So I try to symbolize the face of an Ethiopian saint, but put in the shape of a tombstone and put a cross on it. I'm not Christian or anything, but every time I see the cross, it don't never represent anything positive to me. When I see the cross, either way, it can be regular way up this way or down pointing this way. It never represents anything positive to me. It's always representing something corrupt and dead. And so I wanted to show just some maybe the beautiful eyes, but that cross don't supposed to represent beauty in the piece. It's supposed to represent death. And and it's in the eclipse in front of a sun, and the sky's red, full of blood, and the clouds are black. You know, it's these black clouds over these black males. So every piece of the thing is just, I want it to be simple. You know, that's water. I didn't do realistic water. I wanted to just show you it's just water. Because it's simple and plain. Black males are dying. It's simple and plain. And the painting is supposed to be simple and plain.
Well, I got there early, and I was helping like the bartender set up and stuff. So I was getting nervous, like, you know, people going to show up. I knew people were going to come, but around 7, it kind of started filling out. But I was just like, man, is this going to be a success? So I was a little worried, but overall I was happy, like, the whole time. Like, I look at all the pictures and I was smiling and stuff. And I was just happy that everybody came out to support. People were having like a really good time. Like, everybody keeps complimenting the vibe that was there in what we said. And we both sold some pieces, so that was the whole goal.
Well, people who really know me know I'm an art nerd. If you saw my Untitled video from rap music, you get a sense of my art nerdistry. And I'm a huge fan of the 2 artists that are in the Nelson Street Gallery tonight. One being Miya Bailey, of course, owner-operator of City Inc., and the other being Corey Davis. So those guys are just fucking dope.
I was scared. I'd be scared. And I was really even more scared. I always nervous before art shows, man. That's why I'd be late. Because I'd be like, get my shit together. You know, I'd be like, and I don't try to smoke because you don't know who you can meet. So I got to deal with this like a man without smoking any weed or anything. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I don't drink like that anyway, but I don't like to smoke before stuff like that, you know? So I was like, man, you know, I had to deal with it, and it was just, I don't know, you be nervous about, like, damn, man, did you do enough? Did you do this? You do that?
Are they gonna like the artwork? Like,
yeah, you don't never know. You get your biggest critic, you know?
It was actually a big critic representing on my hip right now, my pocket, my baby, Corey Davis, man, went over nowhere. I was inspired to come out here, the homies are putting it down forever and a day. It inspired me, my art aspect, musically put me on and mad things, man. At the end of the day, man, y'all see that my first sleeve came from my baby. So I had to come out here and show support, man. When it comes to hip-hop, soul music, art, tattoo, and all of it go hand in hand, man. I'm super inspired, I'm super happy for my big brother, man, going out here.
But what made me feel confident, because I was doing a Corey. He a perfectionist, and I know that he, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I was confident, like, okay, man, you know. So it was just a good, once I got there and I pulled up and seen people, I felt better. And that's what, you know, like you said, just like in the pictures, you see, man, we all happy, we smiling, man. It was just so much love given that it was just a good feeling. We could just feel it in the air. It felt new and it felt different and it felt pure. And I liked it, man. I was like, yeah, man, this is dope. And everybody said like the vibe was just a certain way. I'm like, okay, man, you know.